nothing. Eh.
I was drawn into myself, observing all this time. From every angle that I see, my people you need tell.
Marcia, them a feeling.
Others have turned to crime, so they die from time to time.
Massive's got it locked. UK, Germany got it locked as well.
Tell all the big boys say them
The name of the album is Marcia Griffiths and Friends. And this one is all courtesy Kelly Ranks. But as a little boy growing up in St. Kitts Nevis, one of the first songs I remember, I'm not going to tell you my age, but one of the first songs I remember from Marcia Griffiths was this one that made me fall in love with her music, and her too, of course. But in the meantime, courtesy Miss Marcia Griffiths, and it gives me great pleasure and honor to welcome Miss Marcia Griffiths to the studio. How are you?
I am giving thanks. I'm wonderful and blessed.
Wonderful, wonderful. And first of all, let me say you were on the road for how many hours?
Oh, don't please don't remind me.
But I just the dedication. I just want the folks to know your dedication to this business and just to your career.
And to the fans.
Absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely. Let's go back a little bit. I just told the folks, growing up in St. Kitts Nevis, we listen to world music, and we considered your music world music. So how did you get started in the business?
Wow, that's like a song to everyone know.
But the folks got it locked all around the world, and just in case they don't know.
Incidentally, Easter Monday that just went by there,
Yes.
I was celebrating 49 years in the business.
49 years.
Yes, before a lot of you were born or even conceived.
My gosh, 49 years. Okay.
And I started out in 1964. I was 11 years old, and I went on stage Easter Monday morning with Byron Lee and the Dragonaires, and I did one song, No Time to Lose. And the rest is history. I was taken to Studio One the same very day, recorded a song, Wall of Love, that has never been released.
I read that, yeah.
Yes. And as I said, the rest is history. I was, of course, discovered by Philip James, the late Philip James of the Bluesbusters.
Okay. And how did you get to become a part of the I-Trees?
Wow, that's a big jump, but
well, between Studio One and all that stuff, right?
When I went to Studio One Easter Monday morning, that's when I met Bob and Peter. Bonnie and I went to kindergarten, whole and going to school together. So he was the only person I knew at the time when I went there. So I met Bob, Ken Booth, Delroy Wilson, Heptones, just about everyone that was in that stable. And it was not until prior to I3's being formed, or I should say I3, because the group is really I3. Like, as you can say, We3, yes. Prior to that, Rita and myself did Rocket Baby with Bob earlier, before the group was. But it's strange, we all met up at Studio One, Judy, Rita and myself. Mr. Dodd had invited us individually to do some harmonies on some songs that he had there.
Really?
And I had some performances at House of Chen for the weekend, and I asked Judy and Rita if they would come and do some harmonies for me, some backing vocals, and they were excited, and they said, of course. We had a quick rehearsal, and all the shows went down beautiful. At the end, the very last night, the Sunday night now, we just decided to do some a jam on stage.
Mhm.
And Sweet Inspirations was very, very big in Jamaica at the time. And we loved all of their songs. So we did some of the Sweet Inspirations song, and the audience loved it, and everyone encouraged us, that we should form a group, and we decided that we'd form the group. Funny enough, at that particular time when the group was formed, Bob, Peter, and Bunny were having some differences, fallout, at that particular time, and he heard that we had formed a group, so he invited all three of us to do Natty Dread. We went in, we did Natty Dread, #1. Then he asked us to do Jaliv, and we went in, we did Jaliv, #1. So we ended up doing the entire Natty Dread album, and believe me, the rest is history.
Wow.
We started touring extensively, and every other album that Bob did was with these Three Little Birds, of course.
Wow. So what did you think, what's the most important thing you learned in that era?
With Bob?
With Bob, and then even back to Studio One.
Well, the music that we did in Studio One, the ingredients that went into all those music, they were so pure and innocent and really positive that even today that music lives forever. And even the music that they are doing now, new school music, is the same old school. As Barry Salmon would say, not the old school, it's a good school. So
absolutely.
Yeah, so that music lives forever because it was so innocent. As I said, all the ingredients that went in was just so pure. So I am so happy that I was privileged to be a part of all that era, that I can sit here today and I can still go on stage, cut across 8 barriers, go on stage and perform with all of these other young entertainers. It's really a wonderful feeling for me.
Wow. Now, when the untimely passing of Bob came about, why did the group thought about continuing as the I3, or what made you each one of you decide to go solo careers?
No, I was originally a solo artist. That's how I started, and I never ever did relinquish my solo career. Even if I'm out there with a Bob and Marcia, or with I3, my solo career is always going.
Was that by design? Did you deliberately do that?
Yes, because I was originally a solo artist.
Okay.
Judy was in a group called the Gaelets. Rita was in a group called the Solets. But I was the only person that had a solo career, so I would never relinquish my solo career.
Gotcha. Now, let's fast forward a lot in the interest of time. You've got so many hits, and then comes Electric Slide, Electric Boogie. What did that particular song do for you as an individual solo artist?
That song is such a magical song, and up until today, it's the longest living song and dance. It has outlived the Twist, the Madison, the Bus Stop, the Macarena, every other line dance that came about. And it is funny how that song came about, because I3 went to Toronto, did some shows, and we ended up, as usual, in a male-dominated world, no pay, and as women, we are usually seen for our favors. So hard luck story come along, and we didn't get any money. We got $700 Canadian each. I took my $700 and I walked downtown in Toronto, and I saw this nice rhythm box with every beat on it, and I fell in love with it, took it home. Bonnie Whaler came to visit me, and he fell in love with the rhythm box because it had every single sound that you can think of. So he laid the rhythm for Electric Boogie from the rhythm box, and that piano part, that the repeater sound.
Right.
And every single instrument that you hear in that song was from that rhythm box. So out of evil sometimes cometh good.
Wow. You know what, before we go any further, it's funny, I was playing on the air, this Monday went by, and I said to the folks, I asked the question, what's the biggest Marcia Griffiths song? And this young lady from Germany, by the name of Jamaican lady, she named every other song but Electric Boogie.
Really?
Yes. And when I played the song, would you believe that she never heard that song before?
I don't
She,
believe it.
I'm telling you the God honest truth. She had never heard
Because
Electric Boogie before.
I went to England and they were doing the dance and they know of the song. It is becoming a worldwide thing and it still lives on.
If I played a recording of Monday's show, I was shocked myself. She said, I have never heard that song before.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, so it's just ironic that there's some people in the world that just, music lives on, and there's some, when you think people know something, they don't. So for the folks who don't know the song, let's play a little bit of it.
It's electric.
It's FlavorRadio.com. We're playing the biggest single of your career to date, correct?
Yes, it is.
Wow. Now, who was instrumental in putting the dance together?
That all started in Washington, D.C.
Really?
Yes, a group of, I can't remember what they call themselves, but they're the ones who put the dance to this song. So I was on tour, Sunsplash tour, on the West Coast at the time when they started this dance to the song. So by the time the tour got to Washington D.C., I was forced to learn the dance and perform it on stage.
So do you still know it? Do you still know the dance?
Of course,
Okay, just
I do
checking.
the dance every day. Performance, I
Really?
couldn't leave that song out.
And you're in the history books. You know that.
I don't know.
I was I did my research and I was googling your name, and it tells me you're the highest charted reggae female artist.
Well, this song was on every
Right.
single chart, including the country and western
Exactly.
chart. And can I tell you something, Rico? When they have the Electric Slide Day in Washington, D.C. or Baltimore, I witnessed over 100,000 people doing this dance. It's like a wave. Even the policemen that were on duty, everyone was, because this is a dance you need no partner,
Right.
and it brings people together. It unifies.
Absolutely.
That was a dream
Absolutely.
that I always have, to have a song that can unite people, to bring people together through the medium of music in a one positive vibration.
Did you ever think it would be this one? I know you didn't think it would be this one.
No, I had no vision of this song being, this song. Yeah.
Wow. So,
And it's just a happy song.
very happy song. I mean, you're singing on cruise ships, parties, white folks, black folks, Indians, everybody in the world.
Yeah, I saw Oprah and Tyler Perry doing it on Oprah
How
show.
did that make you feel?
Wonderful.
Wow.
Wonderful, because she went to a party and the party wasn't happening, she said, and then she went up and asked this jockey if he had that song,
Right.
and then when he put it on, the party came alive.
And you know what? As a disc jockey myself, when you looking at a crowd and you don't know what to do for that crowd, most of the time you put on a song like this or even this song,
Exactly.
and it wakes up the crowd.
That's true.
So let's fast forward to Marcia Griffiths and Friends. What made you decide to put all those music on one CD?
Well, I've been doing these collaborations since I first started singing at Studio One. When I went there, Mr. Dodd, of course, he wanted so bad for me to have a hit song that what he did, he actually did collaborations with all the different male artists that was in the stable of the Studio One, including Tony Gregory, Bob Andy, Bob Marley, the late Fry, and can't remember who else, but quite a few others. just seeking for a hit song, even though my first hit song came in 1967, Feel Like Jumping. So because I started doing collaborations from that time, and even at Harry J doing Young, Gifted and Black, which went to the #2 spot on the British charts. Then after going to Penthouse, working with Donovan Jermaine, doing songs with Tony Rebel, Beres Hammond, Buju Banton, Cutty Ranks, and just to name a few.
Right.
I just decided that I have so many collaborations with different artists that people love, truly love them. So Jermaine and myself decided that we would just put a double CD to so many people, because there are still collaborations that is not included on this album.
How many?
Maybe about 4 or 5. We have Iwayne, U-Roy, Romaine, Virgo, quite a few.
Wow.
That is still not on this.
I got to tell you, one of my favorite collaborations, and you know, when Freddie was here, I told him that as well, and the reason why I like it is because of what it says. And when I play it, you'll know what it is.
United we stand, divided we fall. There's nowhere in the world that I would rather be than with you, my love. And there's nothing in this world that I would rather see than your smile, my love. For united we stand, divided we fall. And if our back should ever be against the wall, we'll be together, you and I.
There's some voices that, you know, just when you listen to them, you say to yourself, they were meant to be together.
Yes.
You know, you listen to you and Beres, you listen to you and Freddie. Davil is another one that comes to mind.
Yes.
You know, and you've only done one collaboration with Davil.
That is one of everybody's favorite song all my life.
Of course. Now, of all the songs that you could have done with Davil, why that one? Who chose that one?
I chose that song.
Really?
I just love that song. And there are some songs that you cannot better. But you just want to give your expression and your version of the song. There are certain songs, certain artists that you cannot sing their song better than the way they delivered it. People like Aretha Franklin or Stevie Wonder. You have to just love it for what it is. But you just love the song so much that you just want to express your version of it.
Now, what would you like your legacy to be?
My legacy should always be sending and giving love to people, because ever since I was a little girl and I used to look at the brothers who never have somebody to prepare their meals, I just wanted to be that person to take care of everybody. I wanted to be of service to mankind in life. And when I saw the talent that God had given me, I know that I could not have been in a better position than to teach, educate, and uplift, to touch souls, which no doctor in the universe can do. So my legacy is just giving love and sending love, touching souls to the four corners of the earth. You know, music. Because when I was small, I used to sing a song in school that says, music alone shall live. So even when we are gone from this earth and the next generation and the next generation, the music lives on. So what better legacy than the music?
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. Once again, folks, we're talking live with Miss Marcia Griffiths. Now, what next after the Marcia Griffiths and Friends project? I know you're promoting that now, but what comes after that?
Well, I am almost completely booked out. Doing tours, promoting the album. I'm going on the West Coast, I'm going into Africa, going into Europe and England. And of course, there's 2 albums that I would love to do. I wanted to finish a gospel album that I started.
You sing gospel music?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Listen, you don't have to be going to church every day to know God and to praise God and to try, at least to try and live up full. Because no one is perfect. We can only thrive for perfection.
Right.
So
Right.
even though I'm not baptized or going to church every day, God lives within me. And I am a God-fearing person ever since I was born. And I grew up like that. So I would love to do a gospel album. I have started it and I want to complete it.
Okay.
And there's another album that I actually started, songs I love to sing, because I was inspired by so many different singers. Because in Jamaica at the time when I started out, reggae music was not hardly heard on the radio.
Right.
We were influenced by American music
Right.
and American artists, people like Stevie Wonder and Aretha, Dionne Warwick, Carla Thomas and Temptations, and even the Impressions, because Mr. Dad would go into America and bring back Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions for Bob Marley and the Wailers. And whatever male artists, he would bring back different albums to suit, and we pick songs from it. So I would like to finish those two albums, songs I love to sing. There are so many songs that I used to love.
Name one.
The song I used to do before I even started singing was a song that Ruby and the Romantics did. Our day will come and we'll have everything. I just love that song. That is one of the tracks that is included on this
Really?
album.
Wow. Once again, folks, we're talking live with Miss Marcia Griffiths. When you speak to someone like yourself, you are reggae's royalty. I don't know if you know it, but when we first talked about bringing you here for the album release, everybody was like, wow, Marcia Griffiths, she's such a classy person. Over the years, that has been your image. Is that the way you wanted everybody to,
And funny, I don't make any effort to be like that. Ever since I was a little girl, I remember my grandmother was a dressmaker, and I used to use the material that she has and drape it on my little skinny body, because I just always like to create things unusual. So I always try to attire myself, or I should say adorn myself royally, different, just unique, because I would hate to be on a stage in a nice outfit and I look in the audience and I see somebody wearing the same thing that I want up there.
Has that ever happened?
No.
Has that ever happened to you in life, period?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So I actually I like to look very nice, because only the best is good enough for us, because we are royalties.
Absolutely.
We are royalty, so I think only for the best for myself and my brothers and sisters. That's the way I see it. And people sometimes would come out to my performances just to see what I was wearing, rather than to hear what I'm singing. So
have you ever thought about getting into a fashion line? I know you have the head.
Bob Marley over the years never stopped encouraging me to do it,
Really?
and I never did until it.
Looking at you today, you're so coordinated.
That's just a part of me.
Gotcha.
And today I can pat myself on my shoulder, because all these young female singers, every single one with the exception of none, it is such a wonderful feeling to hear when they do their interviews and they mention in their interviews that Marcia Griffiths has been their inspiration and their role model. They try to dress the way I do, and most of them started singing one of my songs. I mean, no money in the world can buy anything like that. Just that feeling alone to hear, a young girl like Elaine or Etana, Queen Ifrica, any one of those little, young, upcoming female singer. It is such a wonderful feeling.
Speaking of which, there's a young lady in Barbados by the name of Tabitha, and she just got into the business as well. And she sent me her music, and she didn't know that we were going to be doing anything. She didn't know we were going to be doing an interview or anything like that. And when she sent me her music, I looked at it, and let me pull it up, and I said to her, were you aware that we're doing something with Miss Marcia? I don't know, I just can't stop calling you Miss Marcia. But this is the song that she sent me.
I wanna be free. I got to be free from pain and misery. Doesn't matter where I go, all the things that I know, it's like I don't know the things I wanna know. But my good vibes tell me so. In the twinkle of an eye, lots of things pass us by and you just don't see. It's not clear to me. Don't even wanna know. No.
So when
I love it, I love it, I love it right away, I love it.
she's from Barbados,
Yeah.
okay, which is not
Sweet.
traditionally not a place you'll get reggae music from. You know, and that's one of the things I asked, you know, when reggae, okay, then why did you decide to do this song? And she said, I love Marcia Griffiths.
Oh, I don't believe you were
Yes.
going to say
so,
that.
So that's why I wanted to play and include it in the interview, because I wanted, you know, for you to hear it, you know.
Wow, isn't that sweet?
Absolutely.
And this sounds like a #1 song.
Exactly.
It is a beautiful, from
Beautiful
the
song.
moment it started,
Yes.
it catches you, it
Yes.
grabs you.
Yes.
And she
Yes.
sounds very positive.
Very, very positive
Yes.
lady. And she's new to the business. Very, very new to the business.
Well, I wish her all the best.
Absolutely.
I know she's going places.
Now, before you go, there's two songs I want to ask you about. You did a cover of a Bob Marley song. And I know you know which one it was. Well, at least on a record. All right. We Will Be Forever Loving
Yeah.
Jah. Of all of Bob Marley's catalog, why that one?
That was not a decision on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Sly Dunbar
Mm-hmm.
thought that that song would have been a good cover if I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to admit, I don't have a favorite Bob Marley. It's so hard. You can never find a favorite. I can't find a favorite
Really?
Bob Marley. No. Because every song is different with a different message and a different vibration. Everything is different about each song, and they are all good songs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to pick a Bob Marley song. But that particular one has a message, a strong message.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided that,
That's going to be the one.
yes.
So you've never done any others other than that one on record?
No. I can't.
I don't remember. You know, you probably have released someplace overseas or something that we don't know about. That's what
Yeah,
I'm asking.
I did Bust Them Shut.
Okay. Okay. But for the folks who haven't heard, I don't think anybody who's never heard it, but for the folks who've never heard Forever Loving Jah, Miss Marcia Griffiths' version, listen. This one I instead of the one because I want to focus on you. It's about 16 minutes to the top of the hour. You've done just about everything. I've seen you in movies. You've toured. You've done everything. Is there anything other than being a fashion designer, of course, that you have not done that you'd like to do?
Well, I've been to quite a few states of Africa, but I want to tour the entire motherland.
Okay.
That was a dream of Bob, and he was only able to do just a few. He went to Zimbabwe, Gabon, and he visited Ethiopia, not to perform. And I would just love to continue.
Where have you been in Africa?
Oh, wow. I've been to South Africa, Ethiopia, Ghana, went to Zimbabwe with Bob.
We'll be live in Gambia. Have you been to Gambia?
No.
Well, they're live in Gambia. They're listening to you right now.
Oh, they are!
On Vibes FM.
Wow,
yes.
Gambia, I'm coming to you soon. Yes.
So shout out to Gambia, folks. Vibes FM, DJ Mo, the whole
Love
family.
and blessings to each and everyone that's listening. Gambia, I'll be there sooner than you think.
There you go. So,
The musical upliftment. No, I am too real to act.
oh, really?
Yes.
I like that. I want to use that one. I am too real to act. Okay. I think I'm going to borrow that line. So what's next? Obviously, the two albums that you're talking about, the gospel album and the covers. What's after that? What's the future hold for Miss Vincent?
Sky is the limit for me, and as long as God preserves me and my fans are always there to support me, I mean, I shall sing as long as I live. I'm endorsing that to the max.
I shall sing as long as I live.
Yes.
So tonight we're going to be inside Elegance Restaurant and Lounge, and it's basically going